Hey guys, it's Leanne. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is a full face of makeup products that I actually do regret buying. Now there's some really iconic ones in here that people rave about, but for me they just don't work out for all the reasons I'll explain in the video. So if this is something you're interested in, obviously stick around to the very end to hear some honest thoughts and opinions, and obviously I'm going to be showing you each product on the skin. So yeah, if you actually do like this video and enjoy it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up obviously, and leave me some feedback in the comment section. So before we jump in, obviously I've asked everyone to like the video, I've already asked you, please leave me some feedback. But if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my 3 times weekly uploads, which are all makeup related by the way if you're new here. But yeah, let's just dive into this full face of makeup products that I regret buying. So much money wasted, so much. So the first product that I most definitely regret buying, well, there's 2 products actually. Both of them are primers, and both of them I was just totally underwhelmed by. So one of them you might be able to guess because I talked about this in my top 5 best and worst e.l.f. makeup products video, which I'm going to link in the description bar down below. It's actually the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. Now, in that video, I claimed that it just feels like rubbery on the skin and slippery, and I found that foundation did not last in certain areas and was just slipping off the face, for example the chin. So for that reason, that is one product that I definitely regret buying. Now another product that I definitely regret buying, the Too Faced Proactive Nourishing Hangover X Replenishing Face Primer. It is just a sample size, which is a good thing. I'm happy I didn't invest in like the big one. So this primer is silicone free, but I just was underwhelmed by it. I expected so much more for some reason. I don't know what I was expecting, but I've heard absolute rave reviews about this product, and for me, I don't feel like it done what it said it should do. So it's got coconut water in it, probiotic based ingredients and skin revivers, but for me it just didn't replenish my skin or brighten it or freshen it up in my opinion. So for that reason, I'm going to be going in with the Too Faced primer on this side of the face and the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer on this side of the face, because these 2 products I do actually regret buying them. Let me know if you think differently. You might love these products, especially this one. I know that a lot of people love the Too Faced primer, hence why I actually went out and bought it. But for me, this is just not really a good buy. I'm just going to get some hair clips to make sure that this does not get in my hair. So far, can anybody notice a difference in this side of the skin that's been primed with the Too Faced primer and this side of the skin which is not being primed? I don't really think I can see a difference, to be honest. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So I'm going in on the left side now with the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, and I'm just going to be working that into the skin as well. Yeah, this one feels really, really almost greasy, I would say. So those 2 are probably the worst primers I've ever bought in terms of just, I think, not doing what they actually claim on the tin. And this one I just don't like the consistency, like the formula of it. Like I said, just feels really rubbery and greasy and does not make foundation last on the chin for me anyway. So we'll see which side actually turns out best. So for the foundation today that I actually do regret buying, unfortunately it's from one of my favourite brands, which if you watch this channel regularly you might know what that is. So one of my favourite brands ever of all time is e.l.f. and this is their Flawless Satin Foundation. It's supposedly a medium coverage foundation, but for me, I find it really hard to build this up to medium coverage, and I just think it kind of wipes off the skin and shows discoloration. When I say wipes off the skin, I mean when I'm applying it with a brush, the more I press it into the skin, the more it seems to come off the skin, if that makes sense. So I do find this product really hard to build up. So what I'm going to be doing to make sure that this is a fair trial so we can actually judge the primers, I'm going to be going in with a pink beauty blender on this side and a blue sapphire beauty blender on this side. 3 pumps, and then I'm just going to be dabbing this on the face. And then, like I explained, pink beauty blender on this side just to make it fair. What do you guys think of this e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, by the way? Do you like the product, or are you as unimpressed as me? Okay, so it's not actually looking that bad really. So I am going to go back in with a little bit more, just to try and build up the coverage and show you what I mean. I normally pat in foundation with a foundation brush and then go on top with a beauty blender, but I actually don't have two of the same foundation brushes, so I really wanted to just make this a fair trial for the primers. That's why I'm going in with a beauty blender on each side, which a beauty blender doesn't give as much full coverage as a brush, so that is something to just keep in mind basically about this foundation. Okay, so it actually doesn't look that bad with the Too Faced primer underneath, or does it just look good because we're comparing it to this side of the face, which has obviously got redness and blemishes? I don't know. So I'm going to be going back in with 3 pumps on this side, and then same process again. So again, beauty blender on this side of the face. Okay, so it doesn't actually look that bad on the skin, but as you can see here, I did have a pimple, which you can kind of still see peeking through the skin. Here as well, around the nose, I'm not sure if you can see that, I'll just dim the lights. Here, there's a little pimple. So yeah, I feel like in some ways it is medium coverage, but I would like to build it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna try one more time to try and cover these pimples on this side and see if we can get the job done. Bear in mind that's 3 pumps for each side of the face. Well, now for this side of the face actually it's going to be like 5 pumps, which is quite a lot of product. Yeah, now I'm noticing now on this side, can we see that this pimple here is even more visible now? Now that I've tried to build it up, it actually looks more visible. Yeah, I feel like the more you apply of this foundation, the more kind of actually comes off, believe it or not. I don't know whether that's just a formula or this foundation just does not agree with my skin, but yeah, this is definitely not like the best foundation. Yeah, so here where I did try and build it up on the pimple, as you can see, it's just still visible. I'd say even more visible than before I added extra foundation. So yeah, this is kind of just reconfirming why I do regret buying this foundation. It's definitely not a favourite. It's okay for the price, but really other drugstore products like the Maybelline Superstay 30-hour foundation, I love that because that really is a full coverage, which is the look I love to go for. Now I know that this is medium coverage, but it's just not doing it for me or my skin. I just don't think it looks good on the skin, to be honest, and like I said, super hard to build up. So yeah, that's why I'm not really loving this product. So another product I regret buying is from MAC Cosmetics, and this is the Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Now I originally bought this years ago when I first started out in makeup, and I've only used a little bit. Like, that is still literally a full pot. I'm going to be going in with this as a concealer. Now I originally did buy this because in the days before P. Louise base, this was like the thing to prime eyes with. Yeah, this was like the iconic go-to product that I seen all YouTubers priming their eyes with. So I thought I'd invest, but for me, I kind of don't like how thick it is. I definitely prefer P. Louise base, probably like most people. But yeah, it's just a waste of money basically because I've hardly ever used it. So I'm going to be going in with a Zoeva 144 brush. And I'm putting the concealer like this to give my eyes a lifted look. Does anyone watching this channel still actually use this, like any makeup artists watching or even just makeup lovers? Does anyone actually still use the MAC paint pots? So I'm going to be going in with the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'm just going to be blending this. Just taking the excess down the sides of the nose, as that will give me a almost reverse contour. So I'm just going to be taking my beauty blender now just to tap over, and then different one for this side. So normally I would go in and set the under eye now with a powder, a loose powder, but I'm actually going to be using a cream blush that I do regret buying. So I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Putty Blush, and my shade is Bahamas. I really do not like this product at all. I think it's just got no pigmentation at all and no staying power whatsoever. We're going in with the Primark 106 Buffing and Blending Brush and putting it onto the cheeks. Actually, I'll do that with fingers, it's a bit more easier. So it kind of looks pigmented at first, but then it almost like blends away to not much really, in my opinion. So I'm going to be going back in with a little bit more to try and build this blush up. So I'm not actually going to be setting that blush now because cream blushes, I know that some people set them, but for me, that's just extra work. That's why I normally stick to a powder blush. But for today's video, I'm just going to be leaving this how it is, and I'm going to save it last, which I've got no faith that it will by the end of the tutorial, because for me, for some reason, it just does not seem to last on my skin or whatever. So back to the point I was making before about setting the under eye. So I'm just going to go back in and buff out any creases, and I'm going to be setting the under eye with a loose powder that I regret buying. So this is the Maybelline Last and Fix Loose Setting Powder. Now this powder is ideal for baking underneath the contour. It looks flawless, but for some reason when you put it on the under eye in photographs and in real life, it just gives such a white cast. So wish me luck with this one. So on the right side, I'm going in with the same beauty blender, and I'm just taking a small amount. Straight away it looks fine, it looks like a normal powder, but when I did dust this away last time, I do remember it just left such a white cast. Even when I was on FaceTime having a conversation, underneath the eyes was just like so white, it looked a bit scary. So for that reason, that's why I don't like this for the under eyes, but for underneath the contour, I actually love it. Speaking of contour, we're going to be moving on to contour now, and this is not a bad product. This is actually like a really good product. No shade at all, because I do like this. It's actually called Shade and Light. I actually do like this product, but for how expensive it was, I think I just bought it on impulse, and I've literally hardly ever reached for it. For that reason alone, for the wasted money, because I haven't really used it, I do regret buying this contour and highlight palette. So this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour. Now I think my palette is medium. It's pretty much still a full palette, and I've had this for about 2 years. I bought this when I went on holiday to America in 2018, so actually 3 years now almost. So like I said, it's not a bad product, it's just that I haven't used it and don't reach for it for some reason. That makes me regret spending that much money, basically. So I'm going to be going in with an Inglot 38 SS brush, and I'm just going to be taking these two lighter contour shades. Now you don't need a lot of this product, as it is quite pigmented. If you do have this product, obviously you're probably aware that you just need to go in with a little bit at a time and build it up. So I'm going to be dusting this under eye powder off now. And okay, it doesn't look that bad straight away, but again, this under eye, I don't think it's done a good job of setting, or maybe that could be the soft ochre's not done a good job of covering up my discoloration. But yeah, not looking too bad so far actually. On camera I think it looks okay, but it's kind of not blending into the blush. So the cream blush is here, and then there's just like a white line. It's sort of not like blending with the other products. So the next product I regret buying is from one of my favourite brands, and no, it's not e.l.f. surprisingly. This is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo, and the shades are Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. I actually bought this probably more for eyeshadow than a highlight, but it is a highlight, and unfortunately for my skin tone it just doesn't seem to work as a highlight because it's very pink. So obviously this would be much better suited to a deeper complexion than mine, but I did buy it as eyeshadow, a very expensive eyeshadow, but I've only used it once, so I do regret buying it for the price. So I'm going to try it as highlighter, which I've already tried it. I know it doesn't work for my skin tone, so that's why I do actually regret buying this product. For me, this would act more like a blush. Like, I'm sure I wouldn't regret this if my skin tone was obviously a little bit deeper. I'm sure it'd look like really stunning, but for me, it's definitely the wrong tone, and just such a waste of money really. So now that I've applied it to the tip of the nose, I just look a bit sunburnt in my opinion, because obviously it's the wrong tone and the wrong shade. I'm just mixing these two shades, by the way, and I'm mixing these on a Peaches and Creams PC17 brush, if anyone is wondering. I normally do a little bit of highlighter on the chin, cupid's bow, normally highlight just underneath the brow bone. Oh my god, yeah, I just look so sunburnt, don't I? I don't think it's a good look, to be honest. So for that reason, I actually really do regret buying this product. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of that Maybelline loose setting powder, and I'm just going to be carving out underneath the contour, as I really do like this powder for that purpose. So for lips now, I'm going in with a lip liner pencil that I do regret buying, and it's from Natural Collection, and this is in the shade Almond. Now, looking at the pencil, I just thought this would be quite a nice brown tone on my skin, but it's just really light and I just don't like it at all. I think it does nothing, it doesn't even hardly show up on me. So I'm going to be lining the lips with that today. Like, it's just more like a peach, but to me, it looks a bit more brown, so it's a bit deceiving. Like, I can't build this colour up at all. You know, sometimes when you go over with a lip liner, it'll deepen up and go darker. This one for me just doesn't. Yeah, this one for me just doesn't show up at all. Like, it has made a difference in terms of, like, it has defined the lips, but really, if I put a lipstick over this, it would just totally blend in and you wouldn't even know that I've got lip liner on. I mean, it was only a cheap product, so I'm not, like, too upset with it, but obviously I definitely would not go for this colour again. It does nothing on the skin, and my skin tone is very pale, so I can't imagine if someone picked this up with a deeper complexion, like, it would literally be nothing, literally at all, because it's already nothing on me and I'm quite pale, so bit of a pointless product really. So on the lips, I'm going to go in now with a lip palette that I do regret buying. It was $51, and I also bought this on the same trip that I bought the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I just went on a makeup shopping spree and I bought really expensive products from brands that I'd never tried before. So I'd never tried Kat Von D, I'd never tried Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is what this lip palette is that I regret buying. So yeah, I just kind of went a bit mental and bought whatever I wanted basically. And now they've ended up in my products I regret buying video. But here we are. So yeah, this lip palette, I actually bought this because obviously, if you don't know, I am a makeup artist. So I kind of bought this just for clients. So on the bottom, it's got like your primary colours. So you can kind of make any colour from this lip palette, which is why I bought it. But to be honest, when you're doing makeup, I just don't really mix lip shades. I just pick one and go with that. So I've never used it for what it's intended for. Yeah, so I'm actually going to use it today. Literally pretty much a full palette, as you can see. All I've ever used is the brown tones, literally like the nude ones. And I'm taking the P. Louise Mitchell Acid Rain yellow brush, and I'm just going to be actually mixing shades now. So these three browns, 1, 2, 3. Like, I think the concept of this is really good. That's why I bought it, obviously, but in reality, I just don't seem to ever use it or mix the shades or use it for what it's intended for. And for basically almost, you know, $51 is almost probably 50 odd pounds, isn't it? I think, don't quote me, but yeah, it's just too expensive for a product that just doesn't get used. The actual quality of the lipsticks though is quite good really, but yeah, that is why I regret buying the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette. So another product that I regret buying is another highlighter from Fenty Beauty. So this is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter, and this is Trophy Wife, which is one of their most famous highlighters and bestsellers. Like, I do love it. I think it's amazing. I just kind of bought it because everyone was raving about it. But for me, I hardly ever use it, even on my deeper toned clients, which is obviously, this is more suited to them rather than somebody pale like me. Even on my deeper tone clients, I just don't ever seem to reach for it. And I also regret buying this highlighter even more now because e.l.f.'s Bite Size eyeshadow in Hot Jalapeno literally has a better, I would say dupe because it's cheaper, obviously this is a dupe, but in my opinion, the e.l.f. Hot Jalapeno yellowy gold shade is actually better. So this is e.l.f. See how pigmented that is and how truly golden that is. And then this is Fenty Beauty. So to me, the e.l.f. one, which is this one, is a little bit more rich. I know that it's different because this is a highlighter and this is intended to be an eyeshadow, but to me there's no difference at all, and I actually do prefer the e.l.f. one. So yeah, dupe alert guys, go out and save some money. So yeah, this is a really good dupe for £3 when I think this was roughly £26 or £27. So if you think how many of these you could actually buy, compared to the price of one of these. Like, I get that this has got a mirror, I get the packaging, the branding, everything, but in terms, if we just compare the product, this is so much better. So I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlighter as an inner corner highlight. So I'm taking the Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush, and yeah, I'm just going to be applying this to the inner corners. Like, it does look nice, but this is literally all I use this Fenty Beauty highlighter for. And now that I've got the e.l.f., I'm just like, not much point at all. So I'm actually going to be applying a little bit of this as highlight now. Okay, like, it doesn't look so bad, but I don't think it's the most flattering for my skin tone, like I've said. So now another lip product that I most definitely regret buying is the e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm in the shade Grapefruit Goals. So I'm going to be applying this as almost a gloss on top of the lip products I've already got on. Now the reason I don't like it is because it is so thick. It's so thick, and then the actual applicator, I feel like it should be angled so you can work it into the lips more, but it's not angled at all. And then when you do put it on, it's just really gloopy. So I'm applying it like this. And it's actually uncomfortable to apply like this. It actually doesn't feel nice. It's a little bit scratchy. So I'm not sure if you're meant to put it on your finger and then apply it to the lips, but that's inconvenient if you were out, wants to apply lip balm, and you don't have a tissue or a baby wipe available. And all the lip balm sticks around the edge. I've just had to give it a wipe to get all the lip balm off, but it just gathers in these little curves of the lid. So yeah, the lid and the actual applicator. So yeah, just not ideal. The actual balm is nice and it looks nice. It just looks like a gloss, but it's not super sticky. It's not as sticky as a gloss. But yeah, I do definitely regret buying this. I was so disappointed by this because I've heard literally rave reviews about it. I definitely wouldn't recommend that because of the reasons I've just said. It's just so hard to use. It's so gloopy, so thick. And I don't think it's really soothing to the lips. I don't think it like does what a lip balm should. Like, for example, if I had chapped lips, I probably wouldn't reach for that. I'd probably go for more Vaseline or Carmex. So I think it's somewhere in between, like a lip balm and a lip gloss. So yeah, not into it. So one of the last products that I regret buying is from another of my favourite brands. So this is a drugstore brand, and it's the NYX Vivid Brights eyeliner. I've found when I apply these, they just crack, literally. And I think I've heard a few other people say the same thing. So these two have kind of dried up, so I am actually going to be going in with Vivid Violet. So that's one layer, which doesn't look too bad, but I've found when you do try and layer over them, then they do crack. Here's where this one won't crack now. So actually this one is looking fine up to now. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to try and go over with a second coat once it's dried down to show you what I'm talking about basically. Does anyone else find the same with these liners, or are these one of your like favourite products? Because for me, they just do not work at all. Well, they do work, they look lovely at first, but I mean, when I say don't work, I mean they just crack, basically. So the last product that I regret buying is from one of my favourite brands again. It's from e.l.f. Like, e.l.f. is featured so much in this video. So yeah, this is the e.l.f. eyeliner pen. Now, this is just a black felt tip eyeliner. Now, I don't like this because there's hardly nothing in it. When you apply it to, obviously, your top waterline, hardly anything comes out at all. You have to press so hard on the eyelid, which is obviously a sensitive area, which I don't like for that reason, pushing hard on my actual eyelid. And you have to really drag it across. So not much comes out at all, which could be good for beginners. But normally with a liquid eyeliner, when you press it on, the bulk of it will come out. And then you can drag the liquid across the lash line and wing it out. But this one, if I apply one little swipe, I have to go back in and fill it in because hardly anything comes out. So I'm going to try and show you that now. So that's off one swipe, and I did press quite a bit then. That's how dry it is basically. Can you see here, we need to go in and fill in this little gap. That's how dry this product is. It's literally not very liquidy at all, which, like I said, could be good for beginners. Even when I shake it, like, not much, there's no noise, there's no liquid inside moving or anything. So again, I'm going to go back in and try and fill it in, but it's so dry. And it's actually a little bit uncomfortable really, because the tip is that hard. Yeah, it just makes doing eyeliner, in my opinion, that little bit harder really. So this is how the makeup's looking. Definitely not my best look. Now, I don't know if you can see here that I have actually filled this wing in, but a little bit here, it's actually coming off a little bit. It's actually gone a little bit, there's a little bit of skin peeking through. So I'm going to try and go over that again just to show you. And hopefully it'll do what it normally does. Like, it just doesn't look good if you go over it twice, basically. Which, if you're anything like me, you have to go over twice just to, like, obviously thicken it up and correct any imperfections. It's actually necessary sometimes to go over liquid eyeliner twice, but with this I really dread going over it because that's when it starts to crack and go really cakey. So I've actually let this eye dry now, and to be honest, it hasn't cracked. What are the chances? Most of the times I use it, these Vivid Brights liners from NYX always crack. So I don't know what's going on today, but this is actually looking dead good. So yeah, I don't know. But I still do regret buying this product because this one for sure always seems to crack. This one seems to crack as well, but this one that I've used today seems really nice. So either way, maybe the formulas are just not consistent and different colours have different formulas maybe, I don't know, but this looks really good, and when I use these normally it doesn't look good, so I don't know what's going on with that. This was a bit of a fluke, but it looks good anyway. So yeah, I think that's our tutorial done and dusted. I think that's all the products that I definitely do regret buying. Obviously I've gave you reasons why, and I've obviously demonstrated why. Let me know if some of my products that I regret buying are products that you actually love. I'm always interested to know different opinions and whatnot. But yeah, if you like stuff like this and you want me to do more future tutorials like this, please let me know by liking the video. Obviously leave me some feedback. Did you enjoy this video? I quite like doing it. It was interesting to see how many products I've just bought for the sake of it because other people have raved about them, and then I've bought them and they're not actually really living up to the standards set for them. So it definitely makes me think twice about just going out and purchasing just because somebody said it's good. Doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone, which clearly some of these products do not. Let me know also any future videos that you'd like to see from this channel. And apart from that, thank you so much for sticking around to the very end. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in my next tutorial. If you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, you won't miss any of my weekly uploads.